What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and I'm bringing you some Boruto Manga Chapter 64 spoilers today. At the moment, we do have a shortened summary, but if I get a more detailed summary, I'll add it along with this video as well. But for now, let's look into the shortened summary we got. It'll be talking about the whole chapter and what's going to happen, but just not super detailed. So to start things off, this chapter 64, is titled Control, and the cover page of the chapter features Shikamaru, which gets us thinking, is he going to be involved in this chapter? Because normally they wouldn't have someone on the cover page if they aren't at least going to be in the chapter. So that's something to look forward to. So the quick summary of it is 32% of this chapter is going to be Boruto and Shadow Clones versus Code, aka round 1 of the fight of this chapter with them. Then the next 24% is going to be Sage Mode Naruto, Shikamaru, Hinata, Himawari, Ino, and Nishi. And I think that's pretty cool. We're getting Sage Mode Naruto. We haven't gotten to see that yet since that whole Ishiki fight went down. So I'm glad we're seeing Naruto using that. He's probably trying to sense Boruto, I'm guessing, using that. So it will be cool to see if they make actual progress towards finding them or not this chapter. Then the next 24% is Boruto and captured Kawaki versus Code, and then a chat, which is round 2 of the fight. And then the last 20% of the chapter is going to be Boruto and his vanishing / normal Rasengan versus Code, and that's going to be round 3 of the fight. And I guess Ada's in the fight. I mean, not in the fight, but she's in the chapter, and she's probably commentating over it, just like in chapter 63. So that's the basic summary of it. I'm gonna wait until the more detailed one comes out, and then I'm just gonna put it together in this video. And yeah, I'll skip to that now. Alright, so we got the detailed summary over here now, and normally how I do this in my monthly spoiler videos is I'll jump into it with you guys. I haven't read it yet myself, and I'll kind of react to it as I'm talking about it. So like I said, the chapter is titled Control. Seemingly it takes about 5 minutes to read. It's very action heavy, and let's see what this whole summary says. So the cover page, like I said, is Shikamaru. So starting off with the chapter, Code is still moderately impressed that Boruto unleashes Momoshiki's powers. Ada is still spectating remotely and provides intel to Code about Boruto being on Amado's drugs. See, that's going to be pretty useful right there, and I wonder if that's going to play a role in this fight, like at some point, like maybe Boruto will experience some type of side effects or something. Damon is still fast asleep for the entirety of this chapter. Well, that tells you he's kind of written off for this fight. Boruto is able to maintain his own consciousness without being hijacked by Momoshiki at all. See, that's big. So it seems like, to me at least, that the drugs that Amados gave maybe is allowing Boruto to tap into those powers, but at the same time, he's not being taken over by Momoshiki at the moment. I think that's pretty cool. Ada thinks that it's an effect of Amado's drug. Oh, see? Yeah. Boruto tries to overwhelm Code with 4 shadow clones and taijutsu. Boruto's shadow clones don't manifest with karma marks or a different right eye. They're just normal. That's interesting. So it's only his main body is keeping the karma appearance and the different right eye he has. Code applies a section of his black studded belt onto the real Boruto's shoulder. Code uses it as a portal. He shoves his arm into a claw mark that's been applied to a tree. Next point. Code's partial arm emerges right out of Boruto's shoulder and easily swipe / defeats the nearby shadow clone. Code keeps teleporting safely behind Boruto and re-emerging from claw marks to evade attacks. So just based off this, it seems like Code's fighting style really relies on those claw marks transportation. He does seem to be pretty smart with dodging attacks, it seems, and striking at the right time just based off what I'm reading so far. Okay, next point. Boruto Shadow Clone manages to yank out Code from the original Boruto shoulder's claw mark. That's pretty cool. Kawaki notes that those aren't Boruto's normal movements. That's probably Momoshiki's movements then. That's probably what he's referring to here. Ada warns Code not to joke around in case he gets killed before regaining his true powers. Foreshadowing here probably, because I think Code is at some point going to get those limiters off of him somehow, some way. Otherwise, I feel like people are always going to be wondering, wow, how strong could have Code been if he didn't have his limiter, right? So my personal guess is both fighters here are going to leave scarred in some type of way. I think Boruto's going to lose his eye, maybe. And something's going to happen to Code to make him want to retreat, of course. So we'll see what they do with that. But I don't think either of them... I mean, we know Boruto's not going to die, but I don't think Code is going to die just yet. Naruto has 2 shadow clones manifesting chakra for Sage Mode. That's pretty cool, like I said earlier in my video. I'm really happy to bring in this form back. I knew it was going to happen, but I'm glad it's sooner rather than later. I sure hope it's useful when he actually gets into some action later down the road again. Naruto directs Ino to drop their search for Kawaki's chakra and focus on Boruto's chakra instead. I think they mentioned this last chapter too, so I'm surprised they're doing this point again. Nishi apologizes for not properly doing his sensing job, as he should. Shikamaru says he'll go into battle with Naruto too. Hell, maybe this is why we have Shikamaru on the cover. I can see why Shikamaru would be concerned now, though. Sasuke still hasn't come back from his manhunt for Code. Sai is currently guarding Amado. Seems like Sasuke's been written off for this fight. I thought Sasuke personally was going to show up in the middle of this chapter to maybe save Boruto and Kawaki, but maybe not. So, Sai is guarding Amado. Hinata asks to go with them as well, but Naruto asks her to stay behind and take care of Himawari. I think that makes most sense because she's probably not strong enough to really help much here. Himawari and Hinata hope that everyone will come back safely. Boruto cannot absorb Code's claw marks, so Kawaki explains why. Code's claw marks are comprised of iron from his blood content mixed with materialized chakra. I think that's a pretty cool concept. I can't wait to read about that. Kawaki warns Boruto not to rely on a power that he doesn't fully understand in case he rampages again. Boruto, on the other hand, just wants to settle everything right here, right now. Code reiterates his plan to feed Boruto to the Ten Tails and cultivate a divine tree. Boruto declines, of course. Code says that Boruto will become the most premium quality sacrifice for the Ten Tails. Code says that he'll come back and pick up Boruto at his peak when his transformation is complete. Okay, so this kinda tells us that Boruto, even if he doesn't win the fight, which most likely is going to be the case, that Code is just going to let him go for this time anyway and come back for him later when he's at his peak, as he says, which is probably going to be the time skip. Code teleports behind Kawaki and puts him into a headlock. Code tells Kawaki that there's a girl waiting for him. Kawaki makes a shadow clone to try and punch Code / make Code let go of him. Boruto tries to separate them with a Rasengan, but Code teleports away into a claw mark again. Kawaki is freed from Code's grasp, needing to catch his breath. Code is now upset by Kawaki's sudden change of heart and says that he hates both of them. Naruto's Sage Mode locates Boruto 40 kilometers away. So that's big progress right there. It seems like they're going to be on the way, but just based off the pacing so far, I feel like they're going to arrive at the battle scene when it's over. That's just my guess, though. Naruto notes that there's a chakra signature with Boruto that he doesn't recognize. So now definitely they're definitely gonna rush over. I don't think they're gonna catch him on time, but we'll see. Shikamaru is worried that Naruto won't be able to maintain Sage Mode for very long. Naruto replies that he can maintain it for even longer than he used to be able to. Naruto says it's because he's more experienced now and he's gotten older and wiser too. See, I like that because that's how it should be. And that's what I expected out of him. He definitely will be stronger in this mode now. He's probably not going to be as strong as what he was, obviously, with Kurama, but he definitely should be stronger in Sage Mode now than what he was as a teen. Shikamaru warns Naruto not to get too reckless as they head out together to Boruto's location. Code vs. Boruto is underway again with headbutting and more taijutsu. Boruto manages to surprise Code with his vanishing Rasengan, but the attack wasn't close enough. Boruto suddenly drops down to the ground on one knee, seemingly unable to move. Boruto starts clutching his chest and is unable to form any coherent words or sentences anymore. Kawaki calls out Boruto in vain. Ada and Code are just silently observing the spectacle. Boruto moans and groans before finally collapsing down on his side on the ground, still clutching his chest. End of chapter 64. So, seems like that's going to be the cliffhanger for the chapter. It seems like Boruto is in trouble. It seems like they kind of want you to think that he's in trouble of maybe dying, but we know that's not going to happen. Maybe there's a chance now that this is the Momoshiki takeover. Maybe Momoshiki is actually going to take over his body again next chapter, despite the whole pills and all. But we'll see what happens. I do think this chapter sounds pretty interesting based off this summary. I can't wait to get a more detailed full spoiler summary, and whenever that comes out, I'll be sure to cover that on the channel as well, so look forward to that. But that's going to be it for this one. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Hope you guys have a good day or night. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.